Hello everyone. This is my first live on this page. My name is Dr. LeRoy. I'm a medical doctor, medical intuitive, trained in rehabilitation, lifestyle, and functional medicine. And I work with spiritual women who want to improve their health so that they can thrive. So I decided to start this series of minerals that we will be discussing in June, starting with iron, because it's something that's super important, especially for us, those of us who are experiencing perimenopause or menopause. Also, for those of us who have any issues with difficulty absorbing nutrients, this can be a powerful way, and little tweaks can make a huge difference in your health. So I am talking, like I said, today about iron. Iron, why is it important? Well, it's important because it helps us build two major molecules. Those two are hemoglobin and myoglobin. So hemoglobin helps us carry oxygen from the lungs to all the areas of our body, and it does so through the bloodstream. And myoglobin helps us carry, it's a protein that helps us carry oxygen directly to the muscles. So if we're deficient in iron, we don't make hemoglobin, we don't make myoglobin, which leads to issues with our oxygen capacity and issues with building strength or maintaining endurance and strength. So some of the symptoms of iron deficiency can be fatigue, brittle nails, brittle hair, difficulty with sleep, believe it or not. Restless legs can become aggravated when our iron levels are low. What else? Let's see. Fatigue, shortness of breath, feeling tired all the time, dark circles under the eyes. So sometimes we think, oh, this is just because we're aging, but in fact, it's actually a consequence of this important mineral deficiency. Believe it or not, for those of us who are coffee drinkers, coffee inhibits you from absorbing iron. So you could be deficient or insufficient in your amount of iron in your body and not know it just by being a coffee drinker. One study showed that about 60%, if you consume coffee while eating, it reduces your absorption of iron by about 60%. Other things that can reduce absorption of iron include calcium, things that promote absorption of iron. Vitamin C is paramount. So having ample amounts of vitamin C will help you increase your iron absorption, as well as fat-soluble vitamins. What are those? Vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin K. And one other tidbit I wanted to make sure I remembered to share with you all is that those of you who are having difficulty releasing weight, it could be because you are anemic or iron deficient. Because if you can't carry the oxygen to the muscles and you're working out, you're trying to get stronger, you're trying to increase your metabolism, very difficult to do so when your iron levels are low. So make sure you go and have your doctor do iron studies, especially if you present with any of those symptoms I mentioned. Those include transferrin. Transferrin is like the public transportation for our iron. So it's the thing that measures how it's being driven into the cells. Ferritin can measure our iron stores, and then our hemoglobin, of course. And then there's a couple others, total iron binding capacity, but that's getting a little too in depth. And transferrin saturation can be another one. But for the basics, those are the ones that you want to remember. Sorry about the screaming kiddo in the background. And the other thing I want you to take away from this, if nothing else, is how can I increase my iron levels? And so one way to do that is to consume foods that are higher in iron. For those of us who are non-vegetarian, one of the best ways you can do that is by consuming, lean meats, organ meats like liver. For those of us who are vegetarian, white beans have a high concentration of iron. Lentils, beets help with iron absorption and making sure we're getting the vitamin C and all those fat solubles. The other thing we could do that's really, really powerful, believe it or not, is to make sure that if we're having green leafy vegetables like spinach, that we have them cooked, because when they're raw, the oxalate impedes our ability to absorb the iron. So the other thing that I think is powerful and very simple is actually cooking in a cast iron pot. I have one right here that I'll show you guys. So I started using this when I found out my iron level was low. There's also this nifty little fish that I got on Amazon. If you can see here, you could just drop this in a pot of soup or stew that you're preparing, or anything that you're eating, and it slowly dissolves small amounts of iron into the body. Now, if you have significantly, alarmingly low levels, are anemic, please talk to your doctor. This is just information. I am not here to give medical advice because you're not my patient, although I would invite